Hey guys, Doug the Retirement Guy here. We got an update to our Roundhill Investments weekly pay ETF funds. If you haven't seen it, this is a trademarked fund called Weekly Pay from Roundhill. We bought them all, and we're going to show you how well we're doing over the past couple weeks and go from there. But before we get into the video, I want to thank each and every one of you for hitting that subscribe button and joining us on Patreon. You guys are phenomenal. We have a great support group in the Patreon section, and we also have a great subscribers group. If you're not part of the community, hit that button. It's simple, it's easy to do, and we want to have you part of the family. So let's get into today's video. The weekly pays from Roundhill. Basically, this is a suite of funds that they have designed. They're all built around the same kind of rules and regulations, as they're trying to get 120% of any given stock's calendar week for price return. They're also trying to generate income from every one of these to make this thing worthwhile. The funds are out there, Amazon. So they have Amazon Weekly. They have the Berkshire Hathaway. They have the Robinhood. They have the Meta. They have the Netflix. They have Apple. They have Coin. They also have Indivia. They have PLTR. They have Tesla. So they have all the major, I'll call them the major big players. And what we're looking for here is we're looking for volatility. We're trying to find, like Tesla, prime example. We want to look for that thing going up, down to try to generate the income from the volatility of the stock. But let's take a look at each one individually, how well they're doing, and how long they've been doing this. So the first one we'll look at is the Amazon Weekly Pay ETF. It's basically been out for about 2 weeks. The opening price on this was $49.40. The current price at the time of the video is $51.30. You're going to find the expense fee is going to pretty much be the same across the board at 0.99%. And this one here is investing into the Amazon regular stock. The performance so far over those 2 weeks, it's up 5.47%. So it's a nice growth that they're getting out of this weekly payer. The dividend they've paid so far is 73 cents total, and it's averaging out to be a 36.95% dividend payout. Now, Roundhill advertises the payout to be about 42.66%. So down the road, we're probably going to be real close to that number across the board. So it's a strong return from an Amazon funded stock. And the nice thing I see, look at the growth that you've already seen, that it's spiked up and kept its basically base point right around that $51 price point. So we're really pleased with this one of the performance that you're going to get from this fund. The Berkshire Hathaway. Now this one opened up at $49.94. The price is held at $48.49. So we've seen a little bit drop in what they've done in this fund. So it's down about 3.31% year to date. It's generated a 46-cent dividend payout over the 2 weeks, so about 23 cents a week. So that gives you about a 24.66% dividend payout. And Roundhill's averaging about 23.47 for this fund. So actually, it's already ahead of what their forecasting is going to be. What we don't like so far is that performance drop off of the 3.31%. So this is one that we're putting into our system. We're watching it, and hopefully in future videos we're going to be able to update and give you a price point where to buy into to where this one would actually be safe. The next one that we got is the Robinhood fund, which is theirs is the HOOW. It's 2 weeks old. Robinhood has been on a run, guys. This thing is just going crazy out there. So it's opened up at $50.66. It's all the way up to $66.01. You can see the climb that it's done. It's had a 30% growth in just 2 weeks. This is phenomenal. This is one that you want to look back and say, boy, if I had a crystal ball and go back to day one, I'd throw everything I got into this fund. Will it hang on to it? Will it continue on? Well, the positive of this one is it pays $1.89 in dividends over just 2 weeks. So that's a little over 90 cents per week that it's been paying. That will give you a dividend of 74.44%. Roundhill's advertised is 79.05. So we are, again, right in track with that. So when you take a strong dividend with a great performance, this thing is just cranking. And we don't, I hate to say this, we don't have enough data to give you a buy-in point, a get out point, the rock bottom, because this thing is so new. But I really truly believe that while I'm watching this, the way it goes is if you're buying in that 60 or below range, probably a safe bet. 10% drop right now would get them back down to that $60 price point. And that's what gets me is we don't know where this thing's heading. Is it just spiking right now or is it coming down? We're going to keep watching this as we go through. That's why we do these videos for you. The next one's going to be the Meta. Now Meta's, again, has been out 2 weeks only, opened up at $48.90. Its closing price is going to be $51.45. This one here, a 2.16% increase so far over the 2 weeks. The dividend payout, 34 cents, so about 15, we'll call it 16 cents a share. But it's paying out 39.41% total dividends. And their Roundhill's advertising at 44.59. So again, we're right within, if we're within that 5% range, we are comfortable with that because we know that the dividends are going to adjust and fluctuate as they go through this. Looking at their charts right now, it had a nice grow up to 53, back down to 51. And we really think that 51 price point is probably a safe bet to be. That's probably going to end up being its low number of 51. So anything of 51 or below is definitely a buy. You just got to make sure you maintain that number because getting up to 53 is its high point. So we really look at this and say, hey, $51 probably going to be the nice number with this. With only 2 weeks in, you can't run all these numbers. You can't, the computers won't, you don't have enough data for the computers to give us some solid stuff. And this is why, again, we are doing this for you. We will watch this to a T, and then we'll be able to tell you when it's time to buy and when it's not time to buy, and if they're good or bad or ugly. Okay, let's get into the Netflix weekly pay. This one blew my mind when I put this thing together. It opened up at $50.31. It's closed at $50.30. So this thing here has really been, we'll call flat. It's negative 0.02%. It got up to that high of $54 or $55, but now down to $50.30. So we're basically back to where we began. So this is one repeating. We watch it. Right now is probably the buy point. It is probably right at the buy point to get involved into the stock, but we need to find out what is the bottom. If this thing hits $50 and then turns around and rockets right back up, then we know where our bottom can be. But overall, we're seeing it drop back down to its starting point. Dividend payout, about 48 cents a week, which is definitely decent, giving you a 49.62% return as dividend, and Roundhill's right around 52. So we're right in track with what they're forecasting, expecting to be. I was shocked at Netflix. I expected this to be almost just climbing up like a Robin Hood would be, is that it should be still clicking forward. And we got to find out why this is really jumping and what it's doing to get a little more data across the board. Now we get into those funds that have been out for 19 weeks. This is when the fund started. And if you don't know, these are all in our weekly, where we buy all 36, I believe it is now, stocks each and every week. There are weekly payers. We track them day in, day out. So we have more information to go with. The Apple Fund has never really performed well from the start. You can see it opened up at $35.98. It's currently at $37.06 over 19 weeks. But here's the thing, year to date, this thing is down 26.09%. You can see this thing was already up to almost a $52 price point, and it slowly dropped. The big drop off came in the April timeframe when we had the tariff issues coming into it. And truthfully, I would expect Apple to have a problem with that when a lot of their products are produced outside the country. It did recover well, but it's been holding in this point right now. It's really just been steady flat in that $36 to $37 range. With it sitting in that point, your performance is going to be down. But this is where it is time where you may think of investing into this one to see if we're going to get some growth out of it. As the tariffs all start settling down and we start figuring out where we're going and the businesses have time to make their adjustments, just like we said, the Apple iPhone is now being produced in India, which would have lower tariffs than what was in China. So they're really able to get into where they're able to get back to profitability. The dividend payout is $4.21 over the 19 weeks. That's giving us a 31.09% dividend payout over a 52-week period. And that comes right into Roundhill's number of 31.78. So very, very strong dividend. And if someone bought this way back at the beginning of this and now are down 26%, they're going to have a 31% dividend payout by the end of the year. So they're going to only generate about a 5% total profit when you balance the two together. So if you're buying it now, you're probably going to have a better chance of seeing a 20 to 25% dividend gain with the proper pricing. Now, Indivia. This has been an interesting one. This is exactly what I expected to see. Opening price 19 weeks ago, $42.17. It is already up to $49.05. This one has been very strong because of the volatility of the stock. It's up 11.37% year to date. It has paid a whopping $6.90 in 19 weeks in dividend, giving you a 38.49% dividend payout. The Roundhill's advertising a 54.60%. And the reason we've already found this one out is that the dividend is catching up. Okay, we do expect this 38% to rise closer to that 54% range once we start getting into more dividend payouts. Even though 19 sounds like a good number, we're not halfway yet, but we're expecting to see this number definitely climb. When do you get into Indivia with the weekly pay? Well, again, we're always putting that thing we want to buy it as low as possible. We believe $46 is the actual magic price to it. Anything 46 and below is where I'd want to be invested into this program. The PLTR weekly, 19 weeks into this one. This one has been struggling out there, guys. This is another in the Apple package. When we look at this in the 52-week program video that we have, it was doing good, and now it's hit on hard times. They need to readjust this program. It's down 19.35%. Now for dividend payouts, it's paid $9.16 over 19 weeks. The dividends are still coming in very strong. But the dividend payout is at 56.47. Roundhill's advertisement's 57.18, so we're right in the target price. The problem is that we've seen it was a drop off. I can't say this one is tariff side of it, because if you look back when we had the March madness, it came down. April, it came down again. It has climbed back up out of the April bottom, but has not gotten back to where it was producing earlier. So this is a fund that we're watching very carefully to see, do we want to be invested into it? Are we getting back to pre-numbers and this thing's going to climb higher? We just don't like where it's sitting. I would definitely be buying this thing at that $40 price point or below, so about 10% less right now, for the reason of it being I don't trust that this thing is going to be a rocky road as we go down, and you can see it in the charts alone. So I'd like to be this in about the $40 range. I do like the dividend payout. Again, we'll go back, look at 1935 minus a 56 dividend payout. So you're realistically looking about a 36% to 35% gain just from the dividends alone. Now, on this channel, you understand we always, in the retirement package, we want to live off our dividends. I don't want to take my dividends and reinvest them back into because I've lost money in a stock. So I would love to have 56% going in my pocket versus giving 20% back up on the stock. But if some stocks you have to play that way, and this one here looks it to be that. Now, COIW. This is a coin weekly pay ETF, 19 weeks into it. I don't know if you cannot lose money in coin. This thing here opened up at 46.50. The price point's 58.71. And you can see that the everything, the March Madness really didn't affect this. The April tariffs really didn't affect this. What comes into is different policies. The policies of what's the U.S. government having trillions of dollars of additional debt. Whoop, we want to jump into Bitcoin. We're gonna sign a bill that's going to have $4 trillion of additional debt. Whoop, let's get into Bitcoin. So this is why this thing climbs so well, and the volatility of Bitcoin makes it so we can make some good money. The performance so far year to date, 16.79% gain. We have got dividend payouts of $8.39. The dividend payout that we calculate is going to be 39.11%. I believe that one is definitely low because we have more things to come from it. And even Roundhill said we're going to be hitting the 80% point. They can see that the volatility of coin is going to be generating even more upswing and dividend payouts. So this is one to really watch out for. So as the market changes, as policy changes, as the news change, we're going to see this probably come down a little bit. That's when we can get involved into it. I would not jump into it at $58. Tesla. Now this is the prime example I'm just saying with coin. Tesla's a great one to show the comparison. When Tesla weekly opened up at $50.66, a lot of people thought this was going to be a great deal. The price is now down to $31.86. It is down 18.33%. Now, why is that? Is it Tesla has a business issue, a business problem, or do we have a news problem? And the answer is yes and yes. Do we have business problems? Well, a big change has just happened that they're going to be taking away the $7,500 per car credit. You got Elon Musk, who's just getting back in the CEO section, and all of a sudden now he wants to start his own campaign side of it. I am not trying to get into elections. I am not trying to take one side or the other. This is the news that comes out of Tesla. It scares people, and this is what makes the stock so volatile. And as the stock is volatile, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go sideways. And the same thing with Tesla weekly pay is doing the same thing. It's bouncing all over the place. What we're finding, though, in the period that we're able to look at, we're seeing a rock bottom here. We're seeing bottom points. That $31 price point is about the bottom that the fund will go down to. Okay, so when it's down at the bottom, that's when you add a few shares to your pocketbook while on the ride up, because the dividend is paying $7.93 in dividend, which we calculate out to be a 36.96 total dividend for a year. So you take the 18 minus your 18% from that, you're basically making 18% dividend, paying back your loss of the year. But if you're buying at 31, you're not going to have a loss. You're going to have full dividend payout. Now, Roundhill's putting out there that they're going to hit the 79.06% return package. If they do, this thing is going to be even better across the board. So the Tesla side of it is one. You watch this every week. You see where the number's at. You add some to it, or you stay out of it. That's how you really watch this. So I look at this in the past period that we've used. This is basically, we're showing it from June on, which is 19, basically a total of 19 total weeks that it's been out there. And you can see right there is probably at least 4 different buying periods for the Tesla stock. That's how I would play this one across the board. Let's take a look at our portfolio. This is the one that I give you that we did invest $10,000 into it. We went right in, we dropped the money into the package. We said, let's do it. Our goal is to get the 5% natural growth, and we're trying to get a 15% across the board dividend. Now that dividend is going to take plus or minus our gains or losses to get to that 15%. So right now, when we take a look at this, I will tell you, we are up $569.27, or we have gained 5.69% in just 2 weeks of buying into these funds. Our dividend payout so far is $218.56, which is basically about a 1%, 1.08% payout per week. So we can really look at this and say, hey, we're going to get about $108 a week from this fund every week with the way it's been running. That would end up giving us a total of 56.26% dividend payout. And we didn't really go to what I just said with the Tesla. We're not looking at this and saying, oh, it's down, let's buy. We're not doing this. We set it, I'm calling it set it and forget it, and we're going to see how this goes for about 6 months and reevaluate in 6 months. So we have enough information on every one of these funds that we can give you a hardcore number of the good, the bad, and the uglies. So we will take the losses or the gains through the time so that you can make sure you're getting your gains. The best fund so far, when you look at this, is going to be the Robinhood, HOOW. That thing right now has gained $223 of our total gain of it. It is just continuing running well. Our next closest one is going to be the coin. When we look at income, it's funny, our income side of it is, again, HOOW is doing the best, paying us $18 in 2 weeks. Coin $16.26. PLTW, I told you before, has had a bad stroke. It's going downhill, but they're still paying a great income. So I always like to buy things that have natural growth with a great income. So if I was to buy this program right now, it would be COIW and HOOW, and really just sit back and say those are good enough for me to run and put some bigger money into it. Guys, it's Doug the Retirement Guy. I hope you liked what we gave you here. It's hard to do when you have only limited information, but Roundhill's working with us. Roundhill's doing some great things with these weekly pays. But if you like it, give us a thumbs up. If you're not part of our party, hit that subscribe button. And any comments, leave them down below. We're always looking to hear what our fans are talking about. So everything helps the channel grow, and we're hoping to help you grow your pocketbook. And we'll catch you at the next video.